What is up? 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 And welcome to this video. And today I'm going to be doing my Premier League predictions for 2022-2023. So let's get right into it. At number 20, I have Bournemouth. Last season, they were promoted from the Championship. They finished second in the Championship. And I feel like their team is just not strong enough for the Prem, but a positive for Bournemouth is their strikers. They have very quality strikers, so maybe they'll stay up, but I think they're gonna finish last. Some notable rivals for them though. They picked up Ryan Fredericks from West Ham, Joe Rothwell from Blackburn, and they lost Gary Cahill. He was released, so. Okay. In 19th place, I have Nottingham Forest. Last year, obviously, they had a great run in the FA Cup, and they were able to win the playoff for the Championship. And it was really, a feel-good story since they were a dominant English club back in the day, so it's really nice to see them back in the top flight. There's some pretty notable arrivals in Jesse Lingard. They were able to get Dean Henderson from Manchester United, Omar Richards from Bayern Munich. They were able to get Nico Williams from Liverpool, and a couple other pickups as well, so they definitely got a lot better. They lost their goalie though, Bryce Samba, but they were able to replace him. I feel like though the lack of experience in the Premier League will catch up to Nottingham Forest, and I think they will ultimately end up getting relegated, but good luck to them, obviously. In 18th, the final relegation spot, I have Southampton, so this may be a shocker for a lot of people, but I think they're going to get relegated as they had a terrible transfer window, in my opinion, and they are extremely reliant on Ward-Prowse, and if we look at the last part of last season, they were in a horrible form. It just seemed like they couldn't get a result for their life. And they ultimately ended up finishing 15th. They were able, though, to get Joe Aribo from Rangers, Lofi from Man City, Kochop from Bochum. But they did have a couple departures, so they lost Fraser Forster to Tottenham and Shane Long as well. So I know a lot of people are not going to have Southampton getting relegated because they've been in the Prem for a long time, but in my opinion, I feel like it's just their time to get relegated. So. And in number 17th place, I have the last team that was promoted. They finished first in the Championship last year. They were led by Alexander Mitrovic, obviously. He was able to score 43 goals, which was crazy. But we have seen in the past that Mitrovic has struggled to translate his game to the Prem. But I feel like this time he can do it. But I don't know if Fulham hire is inexperienced, obviously, and their defense is quite weak. Um, they were able to get João Paulinho, the defensive midfielder from Portugal. He played for Sporting. They were also able to get Pereira from Manchester United. Obviously, they lost Fabio Carvalho to Liverpool, which was just it's a massive blow for them. If they still had him, maybe they could get up as high as 15 or something like that. But without him, I think 17 is generous. Their relegation odds are high, but I have faith in them. Mostly in Mitrovic, because I feel like he's just going to be in amazing form. I think Serbia is going to shock a lot of people at the World Cup, and I think he can carry it through after the break. So now 16th place. We got a fan favorite club, Leeds United. So, why did I put them in 16th? I just feel like they got a really risky team, like a really volatile team. Keys for success for them is going to be Patrick Bamford's health, as well as team synergy, and obviously they lost their two best players, so that one's going to hurt. They lost Calvin Phillips to Man City and Rafinha to Barcelona, so that stuff. But they were able to pick up Marc Roca from Bayern, Christensen from Salzburg, Tyler Adams from Leipzig, and then they were also able to get another American for Jesse Marsch and Brendan Aronson from Salzburg. And then finally they picked up Sinisterra from Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where Leeds ends up this year. I'm really excited for them. So in 15th place, we have Everton. Everton's coming off a very tough season for them. The Geordies, though, they look terrible in preseason. Some of the notes I had from watching them this preseason was they lost to an MLS team 4-0. And I know it's preseason, but that's not gonna bode well for them. I also think that they are way too reliant on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And I don't know, last season they finished 16th. So I don't know. They were able to pick up James Tarkowski though from Burnley as they were relegated, so that's a good pickup. But obviously they lost Richarlison, and the loan ended for Donny van de Beek. So those are massive, massive losses. So I'm worried about Everton, but I think they have I'd say some chance, but I don't know. After last season, I don't have the most faith in them. So now we got 14th place. I have Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace. So what I like about Crystal Palace, so they have a lot of attacking talent, obviously led by Zaha. I doubt he's gonna stay there the whole season, but maybe he'll stay. Last season they were able to finish 12th, and some of their notable arrivals, obviously Chris Richards. They had Sam Johnstone from West Brom. And obviously the big thing for Crystal Palace was the loss of Conor Gallagher. he was returned to his parent club of Chelsea. And that's a massive loss. And that's kind of one of the reasons that I put them here, because he's a extremely talented young footballer, and I think it's a big blow for the team. 13th place, okay. 13th place. I have Brentford. Come on, Brentford. Obviously led by Ivan Toney, who is absolutely phenomenal. But they lost debatably their best player in Christian Eriksen, and he's just an absolute difference maker for them. So, I mean, that's going to be tough for them. I mean, I don't know, it's going to be tough. They're able to pick up, though, Lewis Potter from Hull. He's proven himself in the championship, so I feel like that's a good move. They got Strakosha, I forget his name, from Lazio, and Aaron Hickey from Bologna. So good window for them. Last season they finished 13th, and I have them in 13th. So 12th place, we have a team with an absolute boatload of talent and had a great season last year. Brighton. So obviously there's lots of talent on the squad, but they really are lacking goals. If you look at last year, they did not score a lot of goals, so that's something that I took into account with this ranking. Last season, as I said, they did really well. They finished 9th. Some of their notable arrivals were Cisco from Libertad and Dingra from, I actually don't know where he was from, but those are some good pickups. Obviously, they lost Basuma to Tottenham, which is a massive loss, but still got lots of talent, a lot of underrated talent, so I see them staying in 12th. Alright, number 11. We have Wolves, the club of Portugal. With that, they got some strong unity in their club, and but a big drawback for them is Jimenez for me, because his form is not the best, and that kind of scares me. Last season they finished 10th. They were able to pick up Nathan Collins from the relegated Burnley, so that's a big pickup. But they lost Saiz, they lost Fabio Silva, and Trincão's loan ended. So, you know, we'll see. I've seen some people with Wolves really low on their list, but I'm really interested actually where they end up. So, number 10, we got my team, Aston Villa. Obviously with Coutinho, Emi Martinez, Matty Cash, and last season I believe we were 14th. And, you know, we got Diego Carlos, we got Augustin, what is his name, Augustin or something like that, from Sevilla. We got them both from Sevilla. We were able to get Kamara, the CDM from Marseille, which was just amazing. We got Coutinho on the permanent. We did lose Matt Target, though, to Newcastle. Lost him to the Saudi money, but it's alright. Pessimistically optimistic about this season for us. I think it's going to be really interesting. I could obviously ramble about Aston Villa for a while, but we'll just keep it going to number 9. Speaking of the Saudi money, we got Newcastle. My first thing with Newcastle is yeah, you got a financial takeover, but they didn't make that many moves. Obviously led by Kieran Trippier and Alain Saint-Maximin, but last season they finished 11th, and they were in quite good form, surging up the table. Big pickup in Nick Pope from Burnley, Sven Botman from Lille, obviously Matt Target from Aston Villa, as I mentioned before. And they didn't really lose any players, so that's pretty good. So now number 8. This might come as a shock. We got West Ham United. For me, why I put them here was a multitude of reasons, but number one is they have the Conference League this year, and I really think that they're going to go after it this year. They're going to really want to win the Conference League, be the second ever winner. So I feel like their signings from last year are failing miserably. I'm not going to go into great detail with that, but but if we look at their center backs, it's quite incredible, actually. There's a lot of class in the center back position, and they are really reliant on Declan Rice and Jared Bowen. Last season they finished 7th, obviously qualifying for the Conference League. They were able to get Aguilar from Rennes. He is quite solid from Morocco. They were also able to pick up Flynn Downs from Swansea. They lost Yarmolenko though, which is kind of a big deal, and Mark Noble also retired. So that's just something interesting. I'm really interested to see what happens with West Ham, because I think they're going to actually experience a little bit of fatigue, but we'll see. So now we got number 7, and we got Leicester City, and I'm really intrigued by Leicester City because they did not really make any moves. They didn't really sell any players this window. They didn't really buy any players this window. Injuries obviously derailed them last year, and they're definitely going to need to be fit, like Vardy and Wesley Fofana, if they want any chance of qualifying for Europe. I actually have them qualifying for Europe, the Conference League, but I could see it going either way. I really like Vardy, so we'll see what happens. So in 6th place, I have Manchester United, and I'm really interested to see how Erik ten Hag performs in his first season. There's a lot of question marks with this team, especially what will happen with Cristiano Ronaldo. Will he stay? Will he not? I don't know. That's a big deal from my perspective. In watching their friendlies and their preseason games, Martial stood out. He looked really good, so that's a positive, definitely. Last season, obviously, they finished 6th, which is quite a disappointment, and I'm predicting the same for this year. Some notable rivals, obviously, Christian Eriksen from Brentford and Lisandro Martinez from Ajax. They lost Pogba, obviously, to Juve. They lost Matic to Roma, Carilla to Fulham. They lost Jesse Lingard to Forest. Cavani and Mata were also released, as well as Jesse Lingard. Now, 5th place, Europa League, right outside of the Champions League, I have quite the shock here. I have Chelsea. So I know a lot of people are definitely going to question this decision, but I definitely have some justification. So in watching their friendlies, they looked absolutely horrible. In their friendlies, they lost to Charlotte FC. They were beaten 4-0 by Arsenal. There's just no attack at all. The defense looks solid, I would say, and the midfield is always class. Last season they finished third, but I feel like we really need to talk about Werner. Will he stay? And also, if he does, there's just definitely going to need to be some improvement there. And another thing, a little bit of an insult to Chelsea fans. They were not able to really get any of their target transfers. They were all stolen. They were able to get Raheem Sterling though from City, Koulibaly to replace Rudiger from Napoli. They loaned out Lukaku back to Inter. Rudiger obviously went to Real Madrid, and Andreas Christensen went back to Barcelona. So I don't know. Now to the Champions League qualifiers. Number 4, I have Arsenal. So I mean, you just look at Arsenal and the team looks much improved. Odegaard looks really solid. Jesus, and you know, the rest of the team is just looking really solid. Last season, obviously, they finished 5th, but in my opinion, they exceeded expectation. This is definitely going to be a big year, as I said in the last video, for Arteta. They were able to get Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City, Fabio Vieira from Porto, and then Zinchenko from City. They lost Lacazette to Lyon, and Guendouzi to Marseille. So yeah, Arsenal number 4. For number 3, we have Tottenham Hotspur. Under Antonio Conte, the morale seems really high, and they had a great window, so that's kind of why I put them here. And I mean, they have just 3 world-class players in Son and Kane and Romero. Last season, they finished 4th. They picked up Richarlison from Everton for some bench depth. They got Basuma from Brighton. They got Spence from Middlesbrough. They got Perisic from Inter. And I really liked that move. I thought that was a really big move for them to get Perisic from Inter Milan. They got Forster from Southampton. And Lenglet from Barcelona. So, yeah. And they lost Bergwijn to Ajax, which I feel like is kind of a big loss, but I feel like nobody else cares about that one. Alright, now the obvious top 2. Where have I put them? At number 2, I have Manchester City. Obviously, they're the favorites, but I have them at 2. I mean, it's really tough to decide between Liverpool and Man City, but I just feel like Man City's window wasn't as good. I mean, I feel like they just didn't get just the amount of world-class players that Liverpool got. But obviously, City picked up Haaland, Erling Haaland from Dortmund. He's probably the most talented player I've ever seen, besides Messi and Ronaldo. My opinion. They got the returning arrival in Julian Alvarez. and they were able to get Calvin Phillips from Leeds. They lost Sterling to Chelsea, Jesus to Arsenal, and Pedro Porro to Sporting. I feel like the losses that they had didn't really fit their system, so I liked City's window. But my number one team is Liverpool FC. The number one reason is Darwin Núñez. He is just absolutely incredible. He's gonna bang in goals. I mean, we saw it in the Community Shield. He's just an absolute world-class player. They got him for 80 million. Well, technically 100 million in add-ons, but it just seems worth it to me. They got him from Benfica. I don't know. I just thought it was a great signing. And then they got Fabio Carvalho from Fulham, who's just amazing as well. Like, just two amazing pickups. And I mean, yeah, they lost some big-time players. Obviously, Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich. Nico Williams to Forest, and Minamino to Monaco, and Origi to Milan, AC Milan. So, I don't know. Obviously, last year they finished second. I don't know. So that is my 2022-23 Premier League predictions. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate each and every one of you so much. I really hope you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next video.